Yes, Colonel Justin Neiderer, Commander, 821st Contingency Response Group.
And could I get the spelling of that, please?
Sure. Neiderer.
Okay. So what is your job title out here at Mobility Guardian?
I am the 821st Contingency Response Group Commander here at Moses Lake Airfield, and I'm also the Senior Airfield Authority.
Okay, so what all is going on? What are your day-to-day operations like?
Currently, we have 24-hour operations, and we have the ability to work 2 mobility aircraft at a time consistently throughout that 24-hour period. We are establishing security for our force that is here, and we've taken over the airfield operation from the Special Tactics Squadron that came in with the seizure force with 82nd Airborne, and now we're going to be ready to transition to follow-on forces.
Okay, so what kind of training and preparation led up to this event?
There's been a lot of planning, months, actually several years, 2 years in the planning, I think, for Air Mobility Command, and several months for our planners from our unit in Travis Air Force Base, California. So they've been integrating with all the coalition partners that are out here with us as well. We have Belgian, Australian, and British forces here on the ground with us, and also with the Army planners to make sure that we could integrate our force with the Army seizure force.
Right, so how do you think Mobility Guardian and everything that's going on is impacting the mission?
This has been a tremendous exercise, probably the most realistic exercise I've been a part of since I've been in the contingency response groups. This environment is about as close to what I've seen to mirror Iraq, the Middle East, Syria, and many of our airmen were over there earlier this year in Syria and Iraq supporting counter-ISIS operations. So this is a very good opportunity to integrate with our coalition partners and our sister services, the Army specifically here on the ground, to make sure that we're ready for the next mission.
So what is your favorite part of this exercise been thus far?
The exercise, or real world, the best part is seeing our airmen perform in the field. We train for this mission. This is our mission. At home, we train to do it. And so when we get out the door and get to see them excel in this environment, which is extremely challenging, there's nothing more rewarding than that.
Can you explain what the Contingency Response Group does, what their mission is?
Absolutely. The Contingency Response Group is a conglomeration of multiple Air Force Specialty Code airmen. We have over 23 Air Force specialties that come together, and we train on a daily basis to make sure that we're able to integrate the smallest teams possible to accomplish the missions that we're tasked with. So we sit in alert 24 hours a day, 365 a year to make sure that our airmen are ready to go out the door. So we don't sit an AEF cycle, we're always available. And when we get the call, we have 12 hours to get our personnel and equipment ready for load on a C-17 or mobility aircraft to go anywhere in the world.
And what are some of the types of missions that you guys accomplish?
We've primarily been assigned combat support roles to open up airfields to support Army and Marine forces on the ground to get personnel and equipment into and out of locations. But because of the training that we habitually do, we are ready always for humanitarian response operations. So we've done everything from Gulf Coast operations post-Hurricane Katrina and Rita to floods and hurricanes and earthquakes in Pakistan and Haiti. So our airmen are always ready for the worst environments and are capable to perform and excel there.
This is a little known unit in the military. What would you like airmen to know about what you guys do?
Well, I often say I didn't join the Army, I joined the Air Force for a specific reason, and we often go out in the environments that the Army and ground forces perform their missions, and we often do it side by side with them. So if you want to take your mission as an airman, no matter what your career field, and elevate it to the next level, come to the contingency response groups and you'll learn how to be a leader in the field.
Now, how many contingency response groups are there in the Air Force?
Currently, there are only 2 in Air Mobility Command. There's one in UCOM under USAFE. There's one at PACAF in Guam, and then there is one in the Air National Guard out of Kentucky.
Does each group have their own area of responsibility?
No, we are all globally oriented, although USAFE and PACAF's CRGs are technically oriented against their AORs. The AMC CRGs are globally responsive, so we're able to go to any theater of operations when a combatant commander requests our support.
So when you guys got out here, what was out here for you guys? What did you guys have to do to get you're fully operational?
Well, the CRG is capable of being self-sustaining for up to 5 days, so we deploy with all of our equipment to run the operation, all of our tents to establish a bare base operation for living and C2 elements. We have aerial port, maintenance, and C2 are the main elements to run the airfield, but we also have security forces that had to integrate with the seizure force to make sure that we had an environment set up to keep our personnel safe. So for the last day and a half since we've been here, we've been establishing our operation to move cargo on and off of aircraft, do safe operations on a flight line environment, coordinate with host nation and sister service and coalition partners, and now we're getting to the steady state where we may start to plan to receive a follow-on force if the operation has to go on in an enduring manner.
And what have you guys been doing with our coalition partners up here?
The coalition force that's here for the most part is a security force, so they are doing our perimeter security. They arrived coincidentally with us, so they set up the initial perimeter, and once our defense force commander arrived, he integrated with them to make sure that we had overlapping fields of fire and the security in place to keep our forces safe. The benefit is the local area has friendly host nation forces that we're able to coordinate with as well, and so we feel that we have a tiered line of defense to keep our people safe.
And when the aircraft comes in, what is a normal operation around that aircraft?
We have ramp coordinators that are enlisted aircrew members that go out with the vehicle to marshal the aircraft into a parking spot. The aircraft maintainers take over from there and get it to the specific location where it needs to park and do any quick turn maintenance on the aircraft that's required to keep it going on its mission. Our aerial porters go out and onload or offload the cargo and personnel that are going to go on that mission into or out of our location. Security forces will put up a close-in perimeter around that aircraft to make sure it's safe from any unknown threats. Our command post controllers and ops controllers are in our TOC, making sure that they're communicating requirements for the aircrew and letting higher headquarters know that the aircraft has arrived and looking for any mission updates. And then beyond that, we have fuels personnel, supply, contractors, finance that are making sure that our team has everything that they need to keep the mission running.
And how many people normally go out the door when you guys go out on a mission?
A full airbase opening operation, which is our large team, traditionally is around 130 airmen, led by a colonel and an 06 colonel to be the senior airfield authority when you get there. That allows the Air Force to have full authority over the airfield when coalition partners or sister service members show up. The Air Force runs the operation.
Thank you. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's it.
Great. Thank you so much, sir. You gave excellent answers, by the way.
Cool. Thank you very much. I don't mind talking.